Today is Thursday, December 16th, and welcome to Slow Home Studio.
My name is John Brown, and this is Matthew North, and today we're going to be answering a question that arose from last Saturday's design exercise, and it comes from Andy B., who sent me an email to the Slow Home Studio. And the question is, in the second plan you did for the December 11th design project, you separated the toilet from the rest of the bathroom with a sliding door, but connected the bathroom to the master bedroom with a normal door. It looks like there would be a door conflict that would force you to keep the bathroom door shut at all times to reach the toilet. Why didn't you use a sliding door in both places? Is this a code requirement or a design preference?
That's a very good question.
It is a good question.
I think the thing that you have to understand first off the bat is that you always show the doors in their kind of open state, right? And so you can see that, yeah, when the door is open from the master bedroom into the bathroom, that it does overlap the door to the powder room. But I think the way that we think about this is we think about it as an ensuite. And if somebody is getting ready in the morning, generally this door is going to be closed and this door is going to be closed, and they're going to be in the whole bathroom with the pocket door open fully wide. Because if someone else is sleeping in the bed here and that door is not a solid door, it's going to cause a bit of a noise conflict. So that's how we think about it. And then when this door is closed, of course, this then becomes a segmented bathroom, and someone could then use the sliding door to make privacy for the water closet while someone else could be brushing their teeth or something in the rest of the bathroom. And I think it comes down to the fact that we really saw the door to the water closet as being a secondary door.
Yes.
And not the major door that you'd be opening and closing all the day. Because 99% of the time, one person is going to be in the bathroom at all times. So they're going to have the two doors closed, and then they're going to be in and out of the water closet room. So that's kind of the thought behind that.
Yeah, and it's a very good question. And I think it also, one of the other reasons that I think that having that door there will normally be closed is when you have that double entrance door, the sort of the bathroom that does double duty as both the master and as family ensuite or family and guest bath, the tendency there is to always have the doors closed. Whereas if it's a single entry bathroom, you might have the door open when it's not in use. Here you keep them closed so that if somebody else is going to come in, they're not sort of going and locking the doors and doing all of that. So the reality is that door is probably going to be closed most of the time anyways. I do think, though, that this question begs a bigger issue, which has to do with the nature of doors, because particularly when it comes to bathrooms, particularly when it comes to toilet areas, the type of door you have speaks a lot to our sense of privacy.
Yeah.
And I know that a pocket door doesn't really provide the same level of security from a kind of privacy point of view.
No, that's a really good point, because the most noise-proof and soundproof and sort of heavy door is a solid core swing door, and those lock the best, they close the best, they operate the best.
And culturally, they're the thing we're the most secure with.
Yeah, they're the most private. And then the secondary one, I think, is the pocket door. And I think that a solid pocket door is better than a hollow core pocket door, because I know I've been in bathrooms with a hollow core pocket door, and it feels very flimsy, and it kind of wobbles in the track and all that sort of stuff. So a solid core pocket door feels good, but the latch mechanism, it's not like it doesn't lock in the same way that a passage door does with the handle. And then I think the least secure type of door is a barn door, right? Because a barn door has a light gap all the way around, and it has no sound barrier, and it has no way of, no privacy. There's no way of locking it. So a barn door provides a visual barrier, but not really any other type of a barrier.
Yep.
So that's why I think in this case, it's really nice to have the swing door be on the side that goes to the bedroom, because really that's where you're going to need the sound barrier. And then the sliding door is really it is a secondary type of door for the occasional time where there might be two people in the bathroom at the same time.
Yeah, and the other reason that you typically do a sliding door into that kind of water closet space is that space is really tight. And if you have a swing door, if we go back to the image for a minute, if you have a swing door like that, you're really going to have to stand very close to the toilet to get in and out of that. And if the door swung out, then there really would be a conflict.
Yeah, then there is a true collision. I think you could do a swing door there, but again, it's the style of thing.
It's not big enough.
No, you're going to have to stand on the toilet to get in.
Yeah, I think it's more awkward to have that than to have the door swing from from the bedroom
Yeah.
into the bathroom. So I hope that helps. It's a good question, and that's why we
It's a very
wanted
good question.
to discuss it here rather than just giving you a simple answer by email. So thanks very much for the question. And now we've got a second one.
Really?
That came in. Yes, from
Wow.
Bridget in North Carolina.
2 questions.
And she says, I have a detailed question about the freestanding closet that you designed for last Saturday's design exercise. There seems to be a strip of wood on the top and the bottom of the unit. Can you please tell me why they are there? And there's the
yes.
unit, and
Okay.
what Bridget is talking about is that piece of wood there and that piece of wood down there.
Well, the bottom is a toe kick.
Yes.
So what that is it's the base on which the millwork cabinet sits, and it's recessed back about 2.5 inches from the doors of the cabinet. And the reason why they do that is because it allows any shimming or any leveling to have happen on the floor, and they actually build it out of plywood and it's almost like a plywood frame, and then they sit the cabinet on top of it. And in this case, we've detailed it so that we've cladded in the same material as the doors, which is a dark wood. Now, a trick is, and this is a house brand detail trick, we also do that on the top. And we call them a reverse toe kick, but they're not a toe kick because you don't obviously put your toes
Unless
under
you're
there,
a gymnast.
unless you're upside down on the ceiling hanging onto rings or something. But we do the same thing because ceilings are always uneven. Anybody that tells you that you can have a perfectly level flat ceiling, particularly in a renovation, is not telling you the truth, because they're always a little bit like this. And so what that does is that gives us a little bit of place so the millworker can actually scribe the ceiling. So what they do is they put the same type of framing up above the unit, and then they cut the trim pieces, which are just thin veneers, and in this case we matched it to the same color as the wood, and then they just glue it on to the ceiling. And the dark wood, it's just a way that we've detailed it, just to make the white of the box stand out a little bit more. It could be the same color as the ceiling.
That's right.
It could be, and actually that is a good point, because if your ceiling is really wonky, like super wonky, then you're going to want it to be the same color as the ceiling, because your eye's not going to see as much of the change
really
in the
see
plane.
a difference.
Yeah.
So it's also, I think, for those of you that don't know how cabinetry goes together, it's also an important part of the way in which kitchen cabinets and bath cabinets and here built-in furniture is actually produced and then installed, because you've got a piece, which is the actual box with the doors and all of that. That's made to a very high precision, 1/16 of an inch, 32nd of an inch. It's made in a factory, or it's made in a workshop, and it's this perfectly finished little piece. It then has to go in and be installed in a framed house, which is either a renovation or new, and it's going all over the place. It might not be square, it might not be level, and so typically what will happen is that the kicks go in first, and every kitchen has a kick. You can see it, and it's there to, first of all, to allow you to get the cabinets in with a little bit of shimming and not having to deal with the floor, and also to provide a place for your toes so that you can stand right up against the cabinet. So that's a pretty essential detail, and something that you'll see, and you can either make it look dumb or you can make it look really great, depending on how much care you take. So it's that kind of little detail that's really important.
The other thing too, it's interesting that the millworkers have told me before that they really do like having the reveal on the top as well, because it helps them to get the millwork actually in place. And they don't ding the ceiling up as much, they don't cause as much damage bringing it into the house, because if it's full height, like think about it, something's 8 feet tall, the whole height is your actual ceiling. They have to lift it into place, and that's a very difficult thing to do because these are very heavy. So by having 4 inches on the bottom and 3 or 4 inches on the top, you've got like 7 or 8 inches to play with. That is enough of that wiggle room to be able to lift the cabinet, and it actually really does prevent a lot of damage on the ceiling to have that little piece. And then the finisher just comes and scribes it and just cuts it and then puts it on, and it's done, and it looks really good.
So I hope that helps, Bridget, and thank you very much for the question. And tomorrow we're going to be introducing our live Saturday morning case study that's going to be coming up in a couple of days. See you then.